Most 90s Nissans we love to import stick to a pretty basic formula. Timeless design, a turbo RB or SR, 3 pedals, and the flick of your wrist away from reaching your destination, wondering how you even arrived with the rear tires still intact. This is a Silvia S15 Varietta, as I'm sure you guys know, an odd choice by Nissan tuning division Autech to dismantle that formula in favor of a slower, heavier, and uglier version of one of the greatest looking Japanese coupes ever made. That's a weird sentence, okay? And yeah, they're hard to find, but since when is rare always good? We need to drive. All right, you guys, Silvia S15 Varietta, one of the strangest Japanese imports you can buy. It's one of the most odd combinations of a car, just in the fact that it's a incredibly good looking, one of the best looking 90s, late 90s, early 2000s coupes to come out of Japan or anywhere in the world, to be honest. But then it's paired with the awful concept of a convertible, a hardtop convertible that completely, in most case scenarios, and this is where the argument ensues, destroys the look of the rear end. So you guys tell me in the comments below, I wanna hear what you guys think. Does the S15 Varietta look good at all? The answer is yes. The front end looks amazing. It's still got those iconic headlights. The profile of the car when the top goes up is less than ideal. It kind of looks like a little bit of a ute. It also reminds me of the SW20 Spider, which is another example of an incredibly desirable Japanese car in turbo form. And then they go and chop the roof off and it's more rare, so you'd think maybe it's desirable. They all have NA engines, and the list goes on from there. So interesting combination too. So underneath, effectively, the Varietta is a spec-s. Now, aside from New Zealand and Australia, as far as I know, the spec-s was NA. Anywhere it was sold, which was basically just Japan. Here is the same case. It's got an NA SR20DE, not the other Autech, the Autech Coupe, which was the highest revving naturally aspirated SR20 that Nissan built, that Autech tuned. Better camshafts, higher compression in that, had about 200 horsepower. This is the spec-s engine, so 165 horsepower or thereabouts. It's not the greatest, but then you pair it with a 5-speed at the very least. You could also option it with an automatic, which the take rate was something like 75% of all S15 Variettas, of which there are only just over 1,100 of. Not only that, this one I'm sitting in here today, Evan's car, is spec'd in leather. Great combination here. I'm also going out for a road I've never driven. So welcome, friends. Myself in the mirror, hit red line. There's rev limit. 7,200 RPM rev limit there. It sounds good though. There's nothing like having the top down.
So thanks, Marcus, for having me back. I thought you should drive another one of my rare JDM cars. And then my daily, which you're gonna have to come out for, is my R34 GT-t. 1998, one more pedal than yours, but I've thrown everything in it to make it as fun and daily driver as possible. My dog goes in it every day. There's sand in it every day, but it's a daily driver. And then I have this for when I want to have my top down life in the Okanagan, as it's very needed. It's so beautiful out here. I just really wanted a hard top convertible, and I was scared I wouldn't fit in like an MR2 or an S2000. But I never even sat in an S15 when I bought it. But it was the bigger out of all the hard tops I could buy. Got a great price. Mike from Forthright Trade-In hooked me up, as he's got all my cars. I'll get all my cars with Mike, he's a great guy. What I know is they're around 1,100 made. This is a factory manual type S, or spec-s, sorry, that they use to send to Autech to get the conversion. And then Autech did the leather seats that are factory, they're heated. It's got some metallic flake, too bad it's covered in ash right now. It's my favorite color.
It is so strange driving a naturally aspirated S15. Bumpy pavement coming up. This one's completely stock. Awesome to be driving a stock example. Hopefully the audio is turning out okay. Whoa, a little squirrely in the rear end. It's so soft though. I mean, foot to the floor at 4,000 RPM. It's gonna take another 10 seconds to get from 90K to 100. Soaking up the bumps well. This is a torture test for this car, absolutely. 6,500, 7,000 RPM shift. The good thing about the NA engine is it does rev a little bit higher than your traditional SR20 DET, swerving to dodge potholes. The steering's great, so it feels a little bit more sloppy in the way it handles. Now, of course, it also sacrificed the rigidity. This car's a lot less rigid. And of course, because it's a retractable folding hardtop, it's a lot heavier than both the spec-s and the spec-r. So more chassis flex, more weight, less rigidity. It's a more sloppy car. This is a great GT car. So it kind of lends itself to the touring mindset. Are completely livable, daily drivable, incredibly comfortable and smooth here. It's loose. It's absolutely looser than a standard S15, and this is the strange juxtaposition because it is such a rare, desirable car. It pains me because Nissan made some amazing naturally aspirated Autech versions of cars, especially the Skylines, 4-door GTRs, 4-door naturally aspirated RB26 R32 GTR, and then of course the R33 GTR sedan, which a lot of people don't know about, but those cars exist. I've never seen one in person. I would guess I probably never will unless I'm in a museum or something. But those are great examples because those engines can live without boost. They're fine on their own. A lot of cars, and I speak to this a lot in modern car reviews and new cars, the engines, because the displacement's so small and a bunch of other factors, they actually just need the turbo. It's not a performance thing, where in the Skylines, the turbos are more of a performance addition. The SR20 is not like that. Maybe the Autech NA with 200 horsepower gives you a sporting experience because you can rev it so high. It's more of a design house car. It's a designer convertible. The Varietta is a fashion accessory. That's exactly what it is, and I feel like that's exactly why a lot of people swap in, like our buddy Mike, SR20 DETs. The core handling dynamics are still great. The balance of the car is great, despite the fact it does weigh a few pounds extra. It's still, in the grand scheme of things, a lightweight vehicle, a lightweight 2-door car. You like the way it looks, and also do you like the way it drives?
I like the big booty. I'm not gonna complain. With coils and wheels, I'd be a lot happier. I would love to have more horsepower. That's probably why I haven't spent more money on this, is because I'm not satisfied with the engine. Yes. And I would have to spend so much money to be satisfied that I would be taking away from other things in my life. So I just enjoy it how it is, and people need to do that more. Enjoy the car you have and go enjoy it. Yeah, no, with coils, I believe they would drive better. The weight would be better distributed. Yeah. This on stock, I believe you feel the weight when you're driving through the corners. So if it was stiffened up and maybe on a bigger rim or something, you might be able to disperse the weight better, and I think this would be a blast. For handling, after driving my R34, I experienced what good handling is. I used to drive a lot of German cars that were super heavy AMGs, and a lot of North American cars like Camaros and Corvettes. And when I hopped in the Skyline for the first time, I was blown away by the handling. That's what sort of, every time it puts a smile on my face.
This road is awful. I honestly feel bad driving his car on this road right now. I might have to turn around. We got a deer in the middle of the road. Not sure if you guys can see that on camera or not. I mean, it feels very familiar in here. There's a couple wear items, which is actually surprising. This one's incredibly low mileage. Low mileage being 113,000 kilometers. Of course, we're missing the single A-pillar gauge bud here that's in the spec-r. But everything else feels basically the same. It's got heated seats, you guys. That to me is insane as well.
Even looking for any rare vehicle, you gotta be lucky. Sometimes it's just luck and timing. The Super Jumbo, I looked for over a year and then I found mine. And it was just, it didn't hit reserve. And then I bought it for its reserve price. I just thought it'd be cool to bring in odd things. Even my Skyline has it's a Bomex body kit.
Yeah.
And I believe it's the only one in North America. Besides Mike and a couple, and Scumby and a few of my buddies down in Lower Mainland who have the Vert. There isn't too many out there,
yeah.
so.
And we're lucky here in Canada, we get first dibs.
Yeah.
Over everybody in the States.
So to any Canadian watching Marcus's videos, you gotta look at it like you're buying stocks 10 years early than a giant population.
The man just put it so bluntly.
Like, it truthfully is. So if you're a Canadian and you're working hard, a trades guy or some, go buy a toy, go buy some, and honestly, by the time it hits the US market, your investment should be safe, and you may even get lucky like the Skylines. I know you got yours really early, sort of like how I got mine. The big booty and the hard top is it's quite the pair, so I enjoy it.
Just flows so nicely. A stock S15 is a great car. A lot of people ruin these cars. I will never understand why. Great throttle feel. And no lag is something that feels really good in an S15. Makes it really realize how small the car is. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a quick rip in Evan's S15 Varietta. Thanks, man, for bringing the car out. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you want this car, and no, this is not why I came to shoot this video. I actually had no idea this was for sale, or it was at August Motor Cars before I came up here to Kelowna, but it is. So if you're interested in Evan's S15, the link is in the description. We'll see you soon.